Hey everyone, I'm doing my week 5 discussion about the different types of data types and how they're relevant to business data. So for something like a primitive data type, we kind of just think, at least the way I think of it kind of like doing Python is kind of a variable, so something like a number or a date time field or a text field or a string or something like that. So for something like a date time, you could do, the date of subscription started or the end date of subscription or when a certain transaction took place so that it can be saved off for further use or for study later, or like the price of something could be an integer. You could have um, just a normal text thing could be like a notes field that somebody could store in whenever they're trying to submit a form and they have a notes field for it. So it could just be a string text. It's not even a link field. For collections, for like lists and array, I kind of think of it, lists kind of almost like, groceries. It's just, a bunch of kind of information stored. It can be really helpful whenever you're pulling stuff from like an SQL database. You can pull it back into a list, so the results can be stored by a list from the different fields or like rows or columns that it's pulled back from. So that's really helpful, especially whenever you're trying to parse a large amount of data to run the query and pull it back into a list and then do something further on. But if you're going to do something you need to get groceries from, you just have a whole bunch of quote separated fields, like you need to get milk or apples or meat or something like that. So it's not really broken down anymore specifically. For an array, you could kind of do something else more specific. You could have, array of a type of types of fruit. So you could have, like fruit equals, apples, oranges, strawberries, stuff like that, and then vegetables or broccoli, cauliflower, stuff like that. So you could have more specific so that your array has more specific values to it. For dictionary, it's kind of like a more specific list or array, how I think of it. So you could have a dictionary that's for employees, so that you have, their first name is equal to, or not even like equal to, but it'd be, first name is this, like, Daniel, and last name Lindgren, title is, student, and, start date. So it could just be a long list of information that's stored in a variable for a dictionary, and you could have multiple values stored, so you could have multiple students, you could have multiple start dates, you could have multiple identification numbers, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I think of a dictionary, and kind of applying that to business. I would assume that top of my head, I would think that having employee lists and different information about the employee stored in a dictionary. So that is kind of what I think of for the different object data types and how it applies to different business data. All right, thank you.